Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia coming to you once again with another episode of Age of Heroes, my podcast. Good morning in this hemisphere. Good afternoon, good evening in other parts of the world. And today I want to talk about Christmas. Growing up, I remember my favorite holiday was always Christmas. As I mentioned before, I was born in Mexico. My father is Mexican, my mother is Honduran, and growing up, we spent a lot of time, sometimes traveling from country to country, visiting relatives. I have a lot of family here in the U.S. as well, so we travel a lot, and we spent a lot of Christmas in many different parts of the world, I would say. My grandfather was also from El Salvador, so it's just a big mix of nationalities in my family. So it was always an event. Christmas was always something that we really treasure a lot at home. It always had great memories. I'm blessed to know that I had a family. I know a lot of people didn't have that experience. Some people have only perhaps just a single parent, or they were raised by their grandparents or someone else. So I was blessed. I'm fortunate that I have that in my life. And I have great memories from Christmas. We also, if for those that might be familiar, Mexico has a very strong Catholic, church. People are Catholic. The vast majority of Mexicans, but it doesn't mean that all Mexicans are Catholic. There's like any other country, there's other people that they have different religions or denominations, people that believe in God, people that don't believe in God, and there's also people that have other, of other different world religions. So it just is it's a melting pot like anywhere else. So my family was Presbyterian, actually, and we were raised Presbyterian. So we live around, Christmas was a big event for us, home. It was a big event at the church. Growing up, my parents were very invested into church. They took us to church. Big part of my life and my faith and everything I do it comes from that, from my childhood, from those memories. So I do treasure Christmas. I think Christmas is one of those events. Growing up, it was a great event. At home, you're traveling, the food, that's something I think everybody remembers of Christmas is just the table, sitting down with family, with cousins, just enjoying the meal, remembering the story, nativity story, reading the Bible, going to church, singing carols, enjoying that, the thing, and the gifts, who doesn't love the gifts, the Christmas spirit, the fact that, things that go into the store and the decorations and going to those big toy stores and choosing, gifts and stuff. And, as a kid, as a child, thinking about Santa, even though in most Catholic countries, the practice of Santa is not or the belief of Santa is not as strong. St. Nicholas is there, but most people actually in Latin America, particularly, they believe in the Magi, and so the three kings, they come. The three Magi kings that come in January 6th, and they give you gifts. My parents didn't follow that practice as much because, we were Presbyterian, so they gave us Christmas in Christmas Eve, Christmas night, Christmas Day. But we still had some gifts because, my family, my father's family, the vast majority were Catholic. So I even got gifts. It was an event, I remember that. And, my grandfather loved to drink a lot. So his family, when you go those, Christmas parties will last for a long time, and I mean a long time. So on Christmas Day, we'll be going to church, and on Christmas night and Christmas Eve, then going to visit my grandparents, where all the family will gather, and of course they have party all night long. And for those that know Hispanic culture, parties can last. And so the party will stop, and they will go somewhere else, go to an uncle's house or anyone else, and they will continue on for the next couple of days. It was a time. It was partying nonstop and things like that, and I do remember Christmas. I think Christmas, it's such a special event, but we always have to keep in mind, we have to remember the meaning of Christmas, because we have this tendency in this society to only see Christmas from the marketing plot, from the marketing point of view, that we're surrounded, that everything is about buying, spending money, about, getting the newest computer, laptop, or getting the newest iPhone, or getting the new game system, or getting a really nice 4K TV. And it just becomes a marketing plot where everything is about money. And the sad part is that you go around and you see people are so happy, unhappy, even on Christmas Day, before Christmas, people are no longer satisfied with anything. And it's sad, but it's just the way things are. That the people are no longer really satisfied with Christmas. And it's really a difficult time for a lot of people because it's not everyone has been blessed to have good memories of Christmas, or not everyone is going through good times. So not everyone is really enjoying life because of situations, because of illness, because they lost someone, because of their job, because of the situation they're in, they have to be separated from their families. So not everyone is happy, not everyone is joyful, not everyone is cheerful, and it's sad, but that's the reality of the world. Is the reality of things. So, sadly, sometimes Christmas loses that spirit. We lose the spirit. We forget about it because we have this tendency to see our problems as the only problems around us. And, it affects us. It of course is going to change our view of things, but that doesn't mean that the world has ended. Doesn't mean that the life has ended. That there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But of course, sometimes we are so buckled down in the situation, so deep into it, that we forget that the cheerful things, those things that really makes us go on, that gives hope to humanity. And I think that's the reality of Christmas. We have to remember, first of all, what Christmas is all about. It's about, God sending his son to die for us on the cross. What really means that he gave us the greatest gift of all, that he really cared for us and believe in us. Because the truth of the matter, if I have to give my son, my child, I only have a daughter, but I have to give my daughter for someone else, to take that place of punishment, would I do it? I completely doubt it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Just plain and simple. I don't have that heart. But he did. He did it for us. And whether you believe in that, or whether you are a Christian or not, or whether you believe in an existence of a higher being or not, the reality is that Christmas is about love. And it starts, Christmas is the word, it's Christmas, is the birthday of the Christ. And is definitely, and it's a Christmas story. It's a Christian celebration. And it's about that. It's about God's hope. It's about him sending his son to die for us. And that was the greatest gift of all. And it's about that. It's about hope. That no matter how bad things are on this earth, no matter how bad things are around us, there's always hope. Hope in our lives. Hope that that tomorrow will be better. That we're not alone. That, God cares for us. And he also has given us the same gifts that he has for us to give to others, to give love, to be hope, to be his hands and feet in the world. And I know this is a tough call. And, you don't need to be religious. We don't need to be religious to really give hope. We don't need to be, Christians to give hope. We don't need to be any of those things. If we believe, we believe that we have hope, that there's love, that we can give that. I think we all can do that. We can understand the necessity of this world for those things or those factors. To me, it was an experience growing up. It was something, such a memory. And you know what? As we get older, as we get into life, we start doing all the things and we start doing our thing, and sometimes we stray away from those things, from those memories, from those experiences. Life comes and we work and we have to get into this rat race of doing and acting. And sometimes we assume or we expect, and the culture is just leading us that way sometimes, where we start feeling that Christmas is about, getting gifts and going in through that, getting the best offers after Black Friday, and going through, online shopping, and, we spend this and that, we need this and we need that. We go into this rat race to adding more stuff that really doesn't really add any value to our lives, but we just add this stuff and, so we can give gifts. And you know what? The best gift you can always give people, the best gift you can give people is not a Samsung TV, a Samsung 4K TV. It is your time. It is your time. It is your attention. It is your love. Your kids want more than that, than anything else, more than just a new PlayStation Pro. What they want is your time, your love, your attention. Those are the things that are going to matter to them the most. Not that they were given this. Because sometimes they're going to, the assumption is, or the idea would be for them in the future, that only that really matters is the material stuff. And the material stuff doesn't really add any value to our lives. It's cool. I'm a collector. I collect things. I love comic books, and I do have a lot of junk in my life. But none of this really matter at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I'm going to leave this world as I came, without nothing. Nothing. So if I put my treasures on that, if I, put that into all of those things, my heart on it, totally in it, then I'll be lost. I'll be gone. And I'm never going to have a good life. I'm never going to enjoy that. There's not going to be legacy. My kids are not going to remember good things about me. They're just going to remember the bad. They're going to remember that was never here. And believe me, I've been through all of that. I've been through that rat race in my life, or, just trying to keep up with my life. I was the type of person that I've been going into, on Christmas Eve, working almost till 9 o'clock, and then just leaving work and going to the stores to get a last minute present for my spouse, and going home and, just all tired and just give them the gift. I've been in those shoes. I've been on that place. Where everything was more important than, giving love and hope. And you know what? Of course, I have changed and have matured now. I want to enjoy the little things. And I invite you to enjoy those things. Enjoy that. The world needs that. We need it more now more than ever. You see that when you go to social media, how people attack each other, just for difference of opinion, even for the difference of who they voted for. Yes, I'm against some things. I'm not in favor even of our president today, but you know what? He's a human being. You know what? Everyone else that voted for him is also a human being. They might be thinking that they're doing the right thing. They might be doing the right thing, and I might be thinking wrong. You never know, because we all think differently. But ultimately, at the end of the day, what really matters is that there are human beings like us. They're American citizens like us. They're people. And not only American people, people all over the world, fellow people. One of the greatest stories of Christmas stories that I remember, and you probably have heard this many, many times, was the 1914 World War I truce, the Christmas truce. In 1914, that was the first year of Christmas, the first Christmas for in the war zone, British troops, Allied troops, fighting, the Axis troops and all of that, and the Germans on one side, there were Englishmen on the other, on the French, and on that Christmas day, actually the truce started by the Germans. They send some information. They call out from their trenches to the English that they will not shoot during that time, that they will take a break on Christmas night. And the Englishman responded. And it was there's many stories in regards to it. The historian says that, people sing carols in their native tongue. They share food. They share cigarettes. They had a good time. They even had this crossed all over the trenches in France and Belgium, and they sing carols to each other. And these were enemies. They were killing each other. That was the only time in World War I that this ever happened. And they even play soccer. Some people play soccer, and they took the time to remove the bodies from the no man's land, from the middle of the battle zone, and that's a story that always inspired me. That this man found in the worst situation of you can be. They're in the middle of a war zone, killing themselves. In that moment, they regardless of where they're from, regardless of their tongue and their nation, regardless of their beliefs, and some of them, they were put in that situation not because they wanted to be, they just were there. And they put themselves in a situation where they decide to make peace with their enemies, at least for one night, at least for one day. And you know what? That should inspire us to do the same thing. That's what Christmas is all about. Yes, we might disagree today or tomorrow about our position. We might be conservative, or we might be liberal, regardless. At the end of the day, we're human beings, and we all need love, and we all need that. One of the greatest comments that I always heard in my life was of a pastor. I used to go to this church years ago. We just were visiting for a couple of, we were there for a couple of months. We were in the process of moving to a new place. And this older gentleman always said this, People are looking for three things. They're looking for love. They're looking for forgiveness. And they're looking for acceptance. Those words, they struck me in a way that nothing else has struck me in recent years. Because, sometimes we forget that yes, we want this, we want that, material things, all of that. But those are the three things people want. And these are the three things people need. At the bottom of everything, underneath all the things we want, those are the three main things we want and we need and we care about. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. And we want to be forgiven. So today, I invite you to do that. To love, to forgive, and to accept. You might not agree with everyone around your life. You might not agree about their, point of view. But at least you can love them. You can accept them. And you know what? You can forgive them if they had wronged you one way or another. Same way, that's what we want from them. So consider those things. Christmas is around the corner. Take the time. Forget the rat race, at least for a day or two, you'll be back to it. Problems that will continue on. Problems will continue on. Financial difficulties will continue on. Just forget it for a moment and just enjoy the time with your kids. Celebrate with them, show them the best things about Christmas. If you have good memories, just remember those good memories and do the same thing. And if you didn't, they make new ones, your kids will appreciate it. Your family will appreciate it. And then you'll have a lot of things to talk about and remember in the years to come. And they will remember too. Believe me, they'll remember. So God bless you. I might not be able to on the 24th, 25th. I'm taking a break from this podcast. The podcast is Monday through Friday. But I'll take a break, so I want to spend a little time with my family. And I want to just enjoy and, have fun with them. I might just post a video here and there. I'm still thinking about going and watch a movie because of my work. I've been so busy and, I work very, very late. So I haven't really had a chance to watch other movies. But I'm planning to go this weekend to watch another movie. I'm thinking, I'm going to watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse because I didn't get a chance to do it. And we'll see. I know that, Aquaman is out there, and Bumblebee, but, it's going to be packed. And I hate packed movie theaters. So I'll enjoy one and I'll review it whenever I can. I will watch them all. So, I have fun. I'll spend some time with the family and, just enjoy the time. So again, God bless you and, Merry Christmas. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.